Steve, I guess the one place to start is obviously the emerging news once you came back from Shrewsbury about the poor lads involved in the car crash.
Yeah, very sad, and obviously as a football club and myself, we've been in touch with both families. Sent our condolences to Ollie's family and friends, and our thoughts and prayers are extended to all of them. And young Liam as well, still in hospital, critically fighting for what the most precious commodity ever that any God can give us, which is life. So both families are with us tomorrow on these terrace, where both lads have for years watched and sang their hearts out for the team. So on behalf of our chairman and board, and they've expressed their deepest thoughts. So on behalf of everyone at this football club, we send our thoughts and prayers to all of them.
And I guess it shows that it means something to the players. I've seen some of the players with social media comments relating to the incident.
Yeah, I became aware on Sunday via our media department that this accident had happened and the occurrences within it. And I immediately let our staff and our playing squad be aware of something of this magnitude had happened, and we discussed it more, of course, when we come in on Monday. And you can see the reaction from not just two or three members of the squad, the entire squad. They know what it's like to be affected. They're young men themselves, and for someone so young to be taken away and one fighting to stay, if you like, it's so sad, and reminds us all that despite the passions and the words of Bill Shankly that life is more important than football, football's more important than life. It's just simply not.
Football does go on though, and two new faces brought into the building.
Yeah, listen, what we tried to do is as I said before the window opened, it was not always a case of we would go and find much what supporters would class better players coming from hires, etc. But we would improve the competition within the group because we have a good group. So if we start initially with the goalkeeper, Craig was someone we've been speaking to for a little while, and for MK Dons a little while. And their manager up at MK Dons wanted to go in a slightly different direction, but Craig McGilvery's been simply outstanding at Pompey. He is probably, according to a number of players at Burton Albion, the reason why they stayed in the Football League in League One last year, because he was terrific for the second half of the season, and then moved to MK Dons. And so that to us was a quite simple decision. Experienced, tick the box. Strong, ticks the box. Shot stopper, tick the box. Distribution, tick the box. So it's real good competition for Tay, and it's two number ones. And in respect to the top end of the pitch, I wanted someone who could just dominate centre backs, who could dominate them aerially. And so Vidyan Oliver's 6'4" and he jumps 7'5". That's what it is. He's unplayable in his game, but he's lacked a little bit of game time because Bradford's had played a system that predominantly says it's one striker, and you'd be playing Andy Cook all day because he's a goal machine, Cookie. We love him, but Vidyan is a really, really good signing for us. He's got points to prove. Last time in League One, he had, I think, finished the season on 22 or 23 goals, 17, 18 league goals. Was simply brilliant for me. And it was no surprise to me when I left the Gills, he left. No surprise. So from that point of view, he picked a really good club in Bradford, but it's just not worked out. He's had some niggly injuries, but he's here and he'll hopefully play a good part between now and the end of the season.
You said you worked with him before, and that was arguably his most successful time. Is that because of the football that you bring into the club?
Well, I first became aware of Vidyan when he was predominantly at Northampton. That's when I really became aware of him. And then, of course, we were all watching the playoffs when Cheltenham, I think, won 3-0 or 3-1 away at Northampton in the playoffs. And I went to the return leg to look at a couple of Cheltenham players, but the outstanding player on the pitch was Oliver. And Northampton come back, and of course, history tells you they went on to be successful. So he was simply brilliant. And then when we signed him, he was everything that I've seen in that game against Cheltenham, everything I've seen in pre-season came true. And our players knew that every time we put a ball in the box, if Oliver's in the box, there's a chance we'll score a goal.
Any room for any more to come in?
Yeah, we're looking to do some business. We're still in, Leon's working really hard behind the scenes. He never gets any credit, neither he should. I hope he hears that. But he's working really hard behind the scenes. He deserves enormous applause. And the problem that why Leon's never been recognised at this football club is because of the insecurity of the other managers. You don't need to be insecure. The sign of a good manager is putting good people around you. And when the chairman said to me, Leon is part of the structure, I knew Leon from before, and it's been hand in glove all the way through. So he's behind the scenes working hard. He's a big reason why we got Craig in. He's a big reason why we, despite my relationship with V, he still has to make it happen club to club and take the finances up to board level for the chairman and the board. So we're talking to some people now, but we have to also balance the numbers, balance the books a bit. So there's some people talking to us about 2 or 3 of our players, and let me get the doom and gloomers out of the way straight away. There's no player that's played a major part of the season is leaving. So let's not let fans forums run away with themselves where anyone's going. In the words of Neil Warnock, 10 strikers is not enough. We've not got that. We've got 6, and so we'll go as we are.
Obviously, the weather has been a big factor this week. Has it affected your training?
Yeah, of course, it's affected everyone, isn't it? Outside the Premier League, we managed to get on our pitch on Tuesday down at the stadium because we're in a position we could lift the covers, and ground staff were absolutely outstanding for us. But since then, we've seen -7 and -6, and you can see you've drove into a training ground, and it's almost like if it was a week before Christmas, you'd wait for Santa Claus to walk out the woods. But we'll try and get outside today. But we've got remedies. We've got a brilliant training facility, and added to this, we've got the pool, we've got spinning, we've got a number of things we can do. But there's nothing beats actual, genuine match preparation and being ready for such a tough game tomorrow with Barnsley.
Talking of Barnsley and your squad, of course, how are you lining up to start with? How fit are the players?
Yeah, we're in good shape. We've got 2 or 3 who missed tomorrow with COVID. This seems to be back in a big way. I know COVID now in what I would never say a normal workplace, but in any workplace it's now, as long as you're not feeling too bad, you can go to work. We don't have that mentality. We have the mentality of you don't come back in the building till you test negative. So, and when they tell you they test negative home, it won't be the first time when they come here we test them and they're still positive because the boys want to play. We get that, so we're quite rigid on it. But again, we've got a squad of men, squad of players. No one's more important than any other, and we'll do our best to beat Barnsley tomorrow.
Barnsley's a side you're going to know very well, having played them recently and perhaps unjustly coming out on the wrong side.
Yeah, I think we're unfortunate. I think when you look at it back, I think on the day I was saying we should have won the game. But I think when you look at it back, I think a draw would have been completely fair on the balance of play. And then sometimes luck goes with you, One of Barnsley's better players steps forward and hits a shot that's going straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, but takes a wicked deflection and loops into the top corner. So, but Neil Collins has done a really good job there. They're a well-budgeted team. They're a big club. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. We get 3 points against Barnsley tomorrow. We go level with them in the table after this stage of the season. This is Barnsley Football Club in Little Stevenage. It'd be amazing, but not anything that I don't think our dressing room deserves. And if we can come through this in the February period, I've always said if we come at the end of February, I think we've got a game the last Tuesday in February. And if we come through that nearer in the top group, we'll be in that top group at the end.
Big test, of course, last week, and it probably shows the character of the squad to come back from Maidstone and to put in the sort of performance they put in last week and win the way they did. It wasn't so pleasing on the eye, but it was just a job that had to be done.
Yeah, I think it's very unusual for us to have the overall summary of our team meeting to say win, because we know after the Maidstone result that the doom and gloomers, we collapsed, we were awful, we weren't a good side, and we were there to collapse. And it's interesting that I had more positive reaction from people in the game who I really respect. People are asking opinion of, because don't ask an opinion of people you don't like or respect, because it's not worth it. So, but real good people in the game who all contacted me either on the Saturday night or Sunday, but with a little message or a little phone call, just to say, wow, what a great result. Now, I'll quickly follow that up with saying it wasn't the best performance, but it was a performance that got us 3 points. So from that point of view, we're enormously pleased.